All right, good morning, guys. Hopefully, you had an awesome long weekend. So, we're on 11.1. We're going to talk about slicing solids. So, there is a digital version online. Like, if you go to our book, there is a digital version of this if you want to use it. I can't switch between the two, so I just figured I'd tell you it was there. All right, it says describe each shape as precisely as you can. All right, so give it a try. Some of these are going to be pyramids, and some of these are going to be prisms. So some of them are pyramids, and some of them are prisms. You try to give them names, and then I'll help you in a moment. All right, so let's talk about that first one. Or let's talk about the pyramid versus prisms first. Pyramids have triangle faces. Okay? Prisms have rectangle faces. Okay? So this one right here, the first one, this is a rectangle, rectangle, rectangle. So it has three rectangle faces, and those two triangles on the top and the bottom, those are called bases. So this is what we call a triangular prism. It's a prism because you have those rectangular faces, but it's triangular because the triangle is the base. Now let's look at the next one. So this one has triangle faces, so it's going to be a pyramid. It has a base that I'm going to guess is a square. It could be a rectangle. So it's going to be a square pyramid. Square because that's what the base is. Pyramid because the faces are triangles. All right, and the third one. Okay, we have rectangle faces, so it's going to be a prism. But what kind of prism? Well, it's got a face that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides on it. So a five-sided figure is called a pentagon. So that one there is a pentagonal prism. Prism because the rectangle faces, pentagon because the base is a pentagon. Awesome. So now, what's the cross section? All right, so first off, you need to know that a cross section is like the figure that you get when you slice an object. Now, just like it said before, you can do this digitally on the book, and I think you'll be able to see these things better, so that might be an option for you. It says, here is a rectangular prism in a pyramid with the same base and height. So here's our prism, right? And there's our pyramid. Think about slicing each solid parallel to its base halfway up. What would each cross section be? So if it's parallel to the base, that means it's going to be like right here. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to slice it right here on each of them. And it said about halfway up. Maybe I'm not halfway, but what shape would each cross section be? Well, on the prism, if I took this apart and I faced it out at you so that you could see it, it would look like a square. It would just be a square right in here. Okay. On the pyramid, if I took it right there, that too would be a square. What is the same about the two cross sections? Well, they're both squares. So what's different? Well, think about where these are. Think about this. Think about going over here. What do you think is going to be different? It's going to be the size, because the pyramid is going to be a smaller one. This one, it's going to be the same no matter where you cut it. But this one, since it's at halfway up, we know the pyramid, it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So the size is going to be different. All right, think about slicing each solid parallel to its base. Near the top, what shape would each cross section be? So I'm going to go all the way by the top. So I'm going to use a little bit of a different color. Okay. So for the prism, it's definitely going to be a square again. And for the pyramid, I'm going to go with it's going to be a square again. What is the same about the two cross sections? Again, they're both squares. What is different? Definitely the size. That pyramid one is going to be super duper small now. Okay. So the card sort on the cross sections, that is that Desmos activity. And it's attached to the daily agenda today. Okay, so just go ahead and make sure you sort them. Make sure you know why you sorted them. Now, drawing cross sections 11.4, it says, draw and describe each cross section. Here's a picture of a rectangular prism, 4 by 2 by 3. A plane cuts the prism parallel to the bottom and top faces. There's the cut. The plane moves up and cuts the prism at a different height. So it might be moving up, cutting it at a different height, right there. A vertical plane cuts the prism diagonally. So vertical is going to be up and down, so make sure you know that. Up and down. And diagonally means like across it. So it's going to go like from here to here. Okay? Okay, so for the first one, the cross section that they have, that there is a rectangle. And it's got sides of 4, 2, and 2. It's a 4 by 2. So if it cuts it at a different height, that's still going to be a rectangle that is 4 by 2. Now, if it's diagonal, it's again going to be a rectangle. Now the height is going to be whatever that was, and that was 3 by, and then what's the diagonal? Well, we're just going to put by diagonal length. Next year, you'll be able to figure out how to find that diagonal length. Okay, number 2. A square pyramid has a base that is 4 units by 4 units. So this is 4 by 4. And its height is also, so in here is 4 units. A plane cuts a pyramid parallel to its base. So what is this? Well, that's definitely a square. So there's a square there with length and width smaller than 4 because it's going up. and the farther up it goes, the smaller that square gets. Okay, B, a vertical plane cuts the prism. Okay, so it's vertical, so it's up and down. So what are we going to get there? Well, it's a triangle. Now we know across here is 4, so it's got a base of 4, and we talked about the height, which is also going to be 4. All right, let's go on to 3. There's a cube there, and it has an edge length of 4, so that means everything is 4. Now, a plane cuts off the corner of the cube. See right there? Well, it's going to be a triangle. Okay. We know it's going to have smaller, so height and base smaller than 4. Okay. And B, the plane moves farther from the corner and cuts the middle of the cube, so it's cutting it right there. Well, that is going to be, so we've got to count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a hexagon. And I'm not sure what the sides are, but I know the sides are going to be smaller than 4. Okay, awesome. Now, the lesson summary, so I'm looking at it over here. This is what I was trying to explain to you earlier. When you're talking about those cross sections, this here is the cross section. It's like if you cut the fruit, what is on the inside of the fruit, like if you were to show it, okay? And they're showing it here, like with paint. So make sure you read this lesson summary and go ahead and do your practice problems and exit tickets. If you need help, please make sure you email me. Have a great day. Bye.